Hello students. Today what we are going to see is different market types and its characteristics. So I think this different types of markets we have discussed already in our earlier classes, just an introduction. Just we introduced and gave a brief idea about different types of markets and its explanation. Now we will see the what are the different types of markets and its characteristics in detail, because this will help you for the determining the cost, price, output, and the revenue, income. So all these terms that are related to economics, the media economics. First of all, we have to understand the market types. And today session, we will be seeing different market types and its characteristics. So, so after completion of this session, we will learn about different market types and its characteristics. So let me show you the different types of market competitions and markets. Just a minute. Okay. So perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. So these are the four types of markets and market system and market forms that exist in the market. So let's see perfect competition. Perfect competition is a market. It's a competition whereas there are many people, many buyers, and many sellers, a large number of buyers and sellers in the market, and the buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge about the market. There are no entry and exit values in the market. Let me see one by one in detail. The product is homogeneous and all the sellers are selling the same product. For example, some groceries, food grains. To take a real life example, no, a vegetable vendor in a market. So there are large number of buyers are there and large number of sellers, and there is no any barrier to enter to that business. So before that, I want to make you clear the difference between industry and firm. Industry is the collection of firms where the actual business takes place, that is the market, and firm is the individual organization or individual enterprises that produce goods. So hereafter, what we are going to mention here as firms, FIRM, firms are the individual organization or the enterprises. The group of collection of all these firms constitute the particular industry. For example, film industry or the television broadcasting industry. So industry, the collection of individual firms or organizations like film production companies and various television advertising agencies, production houses. So the firm means the individual organization. So when it comes to, then we'll come to the perfect competition. The main feature of this type of perfect competition is the large number of buyers and sellers, innumerable buyers and sellers. As I said, their example citing to the vegetable vendor. So is if you see where this perfect competition in the real world, so we have given the best examples as the vegetable vendors and the groceries and food grains, but in the real world there is no any industry, there is no any market like perfect competition. This exists in academics and only in theory, but in practice this type of market does not exist, because it will be difficult to bring out examples for perfect competition. So what we have said mentioned are the best examples as like groceries and food grains, very high number of buyers and sellers. That is the perfect competition. This is in the academics and as in the theory. Okay, okay, you will be getting to knowing this in detail when we discuss the characteristics of perfect competition. Then you will be able to know this is 100% is not perfectly not possible in the real market or the real business. And the next is monopoly. It's just opposite of perfect. Monopoly is the opposite of perfect competition. You have many sellers in the market in perfect competition. But in monopoly, as the word says, mono means one. So there is only one seller in the market. For example, a seller, if you take an example like services, the railways, defense. Railways and defense are the example for the monopoly. So next is the monopolistic competition. Here, the product are not homogeneous. So let me take the perfect competition where I have said the product are homogeneous. As I said, no, if you take a vegetable vendor, you're going to buy a tomato in a market where all the buyers having the same product as tomato. So the product is homogeneous there in perfect competition because the homogeneous is one of the feature of perfect competition market. Here in monopolistic competition, the product are not homogeneous or identical. They are almost similar or what they say call it as close substitute, and it may vary from each other. For example, if you take a toothpaste manufacturers or all these FMCG, I mean it's a monopolistic competition, FMCG, fast moving consumer goods like toothpaste or any masala items, no, where the product are not homogeneous, where it differs from firm to firm. So there is some difference between two face of two brands, but the product ultimately remains similar. So the toothpaste ultimately remains similar, but there is some difference between one firm, one company to other brand. So that is one of the main feature of monopolistic competition. So market in monopolistic market, you have all the features of perfect competition for which for only exemption is the homogeneous product in monopolistic market. The product is not homogeneous. In perfect competition, the product is homogeneous. For example, take a potato or tomato. All buyers will having the same homogeneous product. It's monopolistic competition. The only difference is it has the all features of perfect competitions, and the only difference here is the product is not homogeneous or identical. They are different from each other. The products vary from each other, and some difference will be there. As I said, the toothpaste and mostly the example of fast moving consumer goods, FMCG products. And the last one is oligopoly. Oligopoly, oligopolistic market, the definition is the olig means few sellers. So oligopoly have few sellers. However, there is no restriction on the number of buyers or sellers, but you may have any number of. So this again a case you are decreasing the number of sellers. So that is it is not a, it is a imperfect competition. When it is perfect competition, there is no any restriction, many number of buyers and sellers. When it comes to oligopoly, it's an imperfect competition is there is a restriction. So there were many sellers in the monopolistic competition, but coming to oligopoly, few sellers. Olig means it's a Greek word. Olig means few sellers. It's ranging from 2 to 10. And there is no any prescribed numbers, but it ranges from 2 to 10. That is the few sellers. There are only few sellers in the market, and yet there are many takers for their products. For example, these telecom service providers, Airtel, Vodafone, BSNL. So these telecom service providers, if you counting them, no, you can count it in your with your fingers. Like just for some 6 to 8 service providers are there, and the DTH service providers like again the Airtel, Tata Sky, Sun Direct, Reliance. So it is a very with having a few sellers, there is an imperfect competition. This is oligopoly market. Are you clear with the different types of competitions and markets? Perfect competition, large number of buy. We will see in detail what are the different characteristics of each and every market in detail. Perfect competition, example, vegetable vendors, groceries, food grains, and it exists only in the theory, and in the practice and real world there won't be any apt example. With the best example we can see monopoly, excuse me, monopoly, only one person, and the takers will be many, takers will be more and innumerable. And monopolistic competition, which have all the qualities of perfect competition, and the only thing is the product is not homogeneous, as like potato or tomato. There will be some difference between different products or different firms or different brands. For example, FMCG and oligopoly. Then oligopoly, olig means few sellers, from ranging from 2 to 10. For example, the telecom service provider, DTH service providers, and few broadcasting products. So before getting knowing why should we learn about these different types of markets is, if you want to know about the media economics, which is going to deal with the not only the cost and cost analysis or cost thing. For that we have to understand which various types of markets, and the particular firm comes under which type of market. How can anyone able to say our film industry comes under which film production companies comes under which type of market? Any idea? Film production. So OTT, film production and the OTT. Film production and OTT, monopolistic company, monopolistic. Okay, this is okay. Before getting into the characteristics of each and every market, our answer is monopolistic. Let we see in detail the various characteristics of the different market forms, and we will find out the answer. Finally, again, we will ask this question. Let me see the characteristics of perfect competition. So now we'll be doing the characteristics of perfect competition. How this perfect competition defined? What are the features and characteristics? The first feature is large number of sellers. In a perfectly competitive market, there are innumerable sellers. There are many sellers, and it's quite possible that you might not be able to count the number of sellers. In perfect market competition, even an individual seller increases the price of the product but decreases the price of the product, he possibly might not be able to impact the markets. So impact the demand in the market. In fact, as I said, there are innumerable sellers. How an individual sellers increase the price increasing or decreasing will impact the whole market. So, in fact, the supply in the market, because he becomes a very small player in the market. So, there are many other sellers. So, increase and decrease of price in the perfect competition by a seller doesn't make any impact in the price in the market. The second feature is, as I said, is a very important feature is commodity is homogeneous. Homogeneous means the commodity is identical. When all the sellers are selling the same product, there is no difference between the products sold by any of the sellers. There are innumerable sellers, yet every seller is selling the same product. Then it is a homogeneous commodity. So this is one of the important feature of perfect competition, and no entry and exit barriers in the market. There are no entry and exit barriers. That means nobody can stop any buyer from entering into the market, and nobody can stop any seller from entering into the market and starting to ask product. On these assumptions make it difficult for market to exist in practice, because there is no any such free exit and free entry and free exit type of market. So that's why this type of market doesn't exist in practice. Let's say, for example, if anybody can become a doctor and start his services, how would it be a man for become a man? To become a doctor, you need to pass exams, you need to undergo internship, you have to go for a practice, giving your service as a doctor. It would be such. So it is a case with a perfect competition. So it's not possible. And the fourth characteristic is buyers and sellers have all the knowledge about market conditions, all the knowledge about goods, all the knowledge about the price, the demand, supply, everything. For example, the important terms in a market is demand, supply, about the product price, et al. So these are the basic things and basic knowledge that, excuse me, sorry, buyers and sellers should have. So here, all the knowledge about and goods and all the knowledge about the price and demand, supply, everything will be known by the buyers as well as the sellers. So the another feature is free movement of goods. uh, Goods, there is no restriction on movement of goods. The market is open. There are no access fee, license fee, or duties levied. So there is no restriction on any of the goods, irrespective of the nature of the good. Even if the goods are dangerous nature, there is no restriction on the movements of the goods. Finally, the firm is a price taker. You assume the above characteristics, large number of buyers and sellers, where the seller can't impact or influence the price of the market. Commodity is homogeneous. There is no any difference between the products sold by different sellers, and no barriers to entry or exit. And buyers and sellers having the all knowledge about the products and free movement of goods. Because of this, here, who is the person who fixing the price? Here, the person who is fixing the price is the industry. So, industry is the price maker, and in perfect competition, firm is a price taker because he is a very small player in the market. He cannot make this price. Let's say it's a market about toothpaste. All the sellers are selling the same toothpaste. All this in a tomato market or in a vegetable market, all a tomato, all the sellers are selling the same tomato, and the price set in the market is 25 rupees per kilogram. For example, now the seller wants to increase his sales. What will you do? Ideally, reduce the prices. If he reduces the prices, he can increase his sales. So what happens? He's still able to say equal number of products, because assumption in a perfect competition is all the sellers are able to sell their products and all the buyers able to satisfy the requirements. So when the seller is selling his product, the tomato at 25 rupees, now he is reducing the price to 24, he will be incurring a loss of rupee 1 on each of the products. On each on tomato, 1 kilogram of tomato, 1 kg of tomato. So it would be stupid of him to reduce the price. So he cannot reduce the price. He is too small in the market to impact the demand again. If he tries to increase the price, let's say if he is increasing the price of tomato 1 kg to 26 rupees, because because one of the important characteristics of perfect competition is buyers have all the knowledge about the market condition, price. So if a seller is selling at a price of 26, the seller would be charging more. The buyers would shift to the other sellers and believe this seller be able to sell even as say, even to a single buyer, because buyers have all the knowledge about the market. So itself cannot set the price. To be set the whole market force of demand and supply, price in the market will be fixed by the industry. So firm, the seller becomes a price taker. So firm is a price taker is one of the important characteristics in the perfect competition. Now we will see the monopoly market. Monopoly. Monopoly. Yeah. The monopoly is just opposite to perfect competition. Mono means single, that is one. One seller in the market and buyers are many. As I said earlier, the example of railways and defense. And private entrepreneurs are not allowed here for the railways and defense. And you cannot create monopoly in India for any market. Government will buy. If you start any business like a monopoly where others can't enter, no, the government will buy the business. The government will buy the business. So that is monopoly. For example, we have stated an example of only the government services like railway and defense. So the characteristics of monopoly is are single seller for the products. There is only one seller for the product, and restriction to entry. There is the barriers to entry, which is quite opposite to the perfect competition. There are many barriers for taxing and everything will be there. No close substitutes. There won't be any close substitutes. For example, if you take a railways as a service or a product, no, there is no any close substitute for railways. Okay, so in a monopoly, one of the important characteristics or features is there is no any close substitutes for the product. For example, the railway price discrimination will be there. In monopoly, who will be fixing the price? The firm, the industry, the firm, the person who is fixing the price. No, for example, the fares in railways, because there is no close substitute, then people, if you they can't go anywhere. So they are the only service providers, but they have to rely on them only. So there will be a price discrimination for person A and person B. So there are chances are there. So one of the important characteristics of monopoly market. A large number of then the third market form is monopolistic competition. It is also known as imperfect competition. So first, large number of buyers and sellers we already discussed in the perfect competition. This product differentiation, as I said, no, in perfect competition, the commodity, the product is homogeneous. Here the products are different. Sellers do not sell the same product in the market. So each seller has some different product having some different features or some different technical specifications, having some different shape or color, whatever the product in some or the other ways different from other products. So product differentiation can be achieved through advertisement. For example, if you take a monopolistic competition, for example, if you take a mobile industry, mobile phones, no, the product is almost similar. There are only few different, what do you say, there is some very few different technical specifications. So how these technical specifications can be achieved, the product differentiation can be informed or achieved is through advertisements. So and there is no barriers to entry and exit also. For in this monopolistic competition, there's a freedom to entry and exist. And finally, it's a non-price competition. Now, this is a very important feature of a monopolistic competition. The sellers do not engage in price fixing. Please note, the sellers do not engage in price. This was the monopolistic competition. They tried to sell the product not by reducing the price, but by giving something extra. For a perfect example of mobile, through advertisements and all other factors are there. These ways, other ways in the new product in the market, they try to sell their products in the market by reprinting and charging it to price as to cutthroat competition in the market. So that is the monopolistic competition, or the characteristics of monopolistic competition. As I mentioned, the example as FMCG products, they're giving lot of marketing ads and advertising, selling through advertising can be done using this monopolistic mobile phones. Okay, or this is the monopolistic competition, and the last one is the oligopoly. So as I said, oligopoly comes from two Greek words, olig and pol. Olig means few, and here the poly is the sellers. So a market wherein there are few sellers becomes a oligopoly. It's an oligopolistic market. Now, few sellers, if you want to quantify, it would be around, as I said, 2 to 10, ranges between 2 to 10 or 12 sellers in the market. Generally, we should not put any number, but just for our convenience sake, we are saying it as 2 to 10. For example, the telecom service providers, you can count them. Initially, when the telecom service was introduced in India, there were again the restriction of giving a very few seller, a few service providers. As I think you people have heard about the technology of GSM and CDMA when television, when telecom industry introduced this means telecom service. No, for a mobile phone there was a two technology, GSM and CDMA, where in any cities there were only two CDMA providers will be permitted and four GSM providers will be permitted. In that way only this Tata Teleservices and the Reliance, these two players came into the CDMA technology, and rest of this RPG Cellular, Airtel, BSNL, that is Cell One and Aircel. I'm telling about Tamil Nadu. So the four GSM providers, and these two people served this telecom service in the CDMA technology. Same way, 2+4 across the country, where from the neighboring states, the same companies will be named in a different way. For example, in Karnataka, the Aircel is taken as a what you say? I forget that thing. Aircel is taken as some Spice Mobile. Okay, Spice in Kerala. I don't remember, but still, only very few players in the market. So not many. For example, the tire manufacturers. If we want to have more example, the tire manufacturers, cool drink providers. So not many manufacturers of aerated drinks. There becomes the oligopolistic market. Not many sellers look in perfect competition. We said there are many sellers in monopolistic competition. We said many sellers, but in oligopolistic market, there are only few sellers. And finally, in monopoly, there is only one seller. In oligopolistic, we say there are sellers between 2 and 10. So that you have to be very clear. In perfect competition, large buyers, large number of sellers. In monopolistic competition, large seller, and monopoly, one seller, and oligopoly, few sellers. Then when coming to the price, how various types of oligopoly market. If you are clear with this oligopolistic competition, you will see the different types of oligopoly. So one of the before that, one of the important features characteristics of oligopoly is the firm chooses its policy and the behavior of their rivals or the competitors. As I said, the service provider, no, their policies were drafted and their policies were often updated by the behavior of the rivals or the competitors. So when you take the characteristics of oligopolistic, uh, no, yeah, the characteristics of oligopolistics, interdependence, importance of advertising and selling cost, and group behavior. So these are the three main characteristics of oligopoly market. So interdependence, the firms, as I said, no, firms chooses its policy on the behavior of its rivals or its competitors. The firms are interdependent on each other. Policies following the firm, knowledge about the competitors. So importance of advertising and selling cost. The second feature, each sellers to sell product in a better way. How this can be helped out only through advertisement and other factors. Through advertisement, publicity, and promotional strategies or marketing strategies. So it the advertising keeps changing and it has to be innovative. Okay, so advertising and selling cost importance becomes one of the important feature of oligopolistic market because of the policy or the industry. The firm is interdependent on each other and the group behavior. One person does anything, whole group follows. One person does anything, no, any changes, no, the whole firm, the other firms and the other people, they simply follow. For example, if you take any, I am stating from my own example, like reality shows in television, if a one person got success or the success rate, the other person will start trying the same format of production in their firm. So, the group behavior is one of the important characteristics of oligopolistic market. One person does anything, the whole group follows the same thing. Okay. So, with these characteristics, now we will see the types of oligopoly market, and this is the last slide that you will see the types of oligopoly market. So, the how we are categorizing the oligopolistic market is on the basis of two features, characteristics. One is the basis and the type. In the types of oligopoly can be defined. Similarity of product, whether it's pure or perfect versus differentiated or imperfect. For example, if product is homogeneous product or differentiated product. The homogeneous product, that is a pure or perfect oligopoly, it's a differentiated imperfect or differentiated oligopoly. So entry of new firm, the allowance given for the entry of or exit of a new firm, open versus closed, open oligopoly and closed oligopoly. It's a free to enter any sorry sorry open, free to enter, and barriers in the entry and exit are termed as the closed oligopoly market. Um, then understanding between the firms. As I said, the policy, it is one of the important feature of oligopoly is the interdependent of firms among each other. Understanding between the firm is the collusive versus competitive. Collusive is the firms will work with each other together as a one firm and deliver the product. Competitive, all firms are competing with each other and the same way how the television channels or broadcast channels or anything are they competing. Collusive is collusive market is the film industry where they work with each other together as a one firm for different crafts of work. And the basis of dominance of one firm, one firm dominates this oligopoly, makes a mixture like partial oligopoly and the no firm dominates in the oligopolistic market and on the basis of how products are sold. So syndicated versus organized. Here, all the sellers sells to a central syndicate. So there are some cooperative markets or cooperative for some agricultural products like turmeric or any agricultural products. No? There will be a market where there will be a syndicate. All the sellers sells to a central syndicate, which has appointed some marketers, and organized is the firms and organizations are the sellers. They will sell directly. There won't be any syndicate of type. So in this way we can classify the oligopoly types. So I thought of giving a brief introduction about different types of market, and in later classes we will get into. Let me summarize the perfect competition. I think no need to summarize. You are clear with the perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and how each market differs from one another, and why this has to be taken is